Hello Jigs and Ghouls, it's so hot in here I should probably start an OnlyFans account in order to do these bookish videos. So if you're interested in something like that, please leave a comment so I know, just tell me what type of content you want to see, because yes, just being in here and doing a video about this book, Horrorstor by Grady Hendrix, that's the Greek edition, is, it's not quite comfortable for me. And what I have to say about Horrorstor is that this book really stands out in itself because of its size and its design, because, let's be honest, it looks a lot like it's an IKEA catalog. And that's an interesting choice because this book is set into IKEA knockoff store in the US, and the inside of the book is actually interesting because we get to something like very corporate looking OSC catalog style of typesetting, but then we get into some novella style. I was expecting it to be less of a novella and more like a catalog with items in it that they have a story hidden within. So yeah, I have to complain about this because I'm a big complainer, what can I say? So we're in this IKEA knockoff store and weird shit are happening every night. Every morning the employees get there and there are some furniture, some merchandise that is being destroyed. So the supervisor, Basil, picks two women, Amy and Ruth Ann, in order to spend the night in the store so they can find out who or what is causing those damages every night. And I have to say that the first half of the book was kind of slow, because we get into the setup for the night in the mall and the events that are happening in the beginning of the night, and it gave me the impression that this is a hipster, self-aware kind of horror novel that tries to make a very solo comment about the horror of working a retail job, which is a horror indeed. But the second half really does pick up and we get some nice gore, some suspenseful sequences, some character development. Okay, I was not wowed by the book, alright? I think it was baseline good horror. And the whole retail theme, the horror of a retail job, was not that interesting. It was okay, it was something to be expected, to be honest. There was nothing groundbreaking about it, but it didn't break the book for me too. I enjoyed it a lot. But what really stands out for me in this book was the characters, because we have Amy, who is a very typical millennial. She has no future, she is black-pilled, she has an attitude problem, because who wouldn't? And then we've got Basil, who is this brainwashed corporate cog. And then we've got Ruth Ann, who is the person who lives for the company and has nothing in her life but the company. So yes, the rest of the characters are also very unidentifiable. They appear to be people you can see in a corporate environment. So yes, we've got good corporate horror, and we don't have enough corporate horror, and I have a soft spot for it, but I have yet to find enough corporate horror books. So if you got any suggestions for corporate horror books, please leave a comment below about them. I really want to read them. The spooky situation, as I said, was not much to my liking. I mean, there was an interesting connection between the retail job and what is happening every night in the store, but I was not impressed by it. And you know what, it's a kind of a short novel, so I can see why it's not that impressive. Alright, the form of the book was really interesting, as I said. It's the thing that makes the book stand apart, to pop out. I mean, every chapter starts with a blurb and a picture of a piece of furniture like this over here. Dricek and weird names. But at some point, midway through, after the gore and horror has begun, we get into some torture devices. And they have a blurb too that feels like an IKEA store blurb. That was a nice touch of humor in a book that is not a comedy anymore. it's actually turning into some pretty serious bloodbath with casualties and all that. So yeah, overall I think it was a fast and fun read that I enjoyed, but yeah, I have a feeling that this book could have been much more as a book. So yeah, really interesting. We'll definitely look more into Grady Hendrix books, because for a first contact with his writing, I was pleased. He clearly knows the whole genre, the conventions of it, how it works, and how and why it works, and what the beats are. That's very important. It feels horror-y, but it doesn't transcend what the genre can be. It's just a good imitation of the genre. Imitation, exactly. It's a good reproduction of horror, only with a very interesting form. It's not House of Leaves, alright? Even though you see it, the way it's typeset and the way it looks like an IKEA brochure, and you think that maybe it is like House of Leaves. No, it's not. Which was my main complaint about it. So yeah, I mean, few books can be House of Leaves, alright? So if you've read this book, please leave a comment below with your opinion. Like, subscribe for more content like this, for more sweaty, hot book reviews of horror and fantasy, and we'll see about the OnlyFans account, alright? If there's demand for it, I'll do it. I'll do it for the sake of reading and for the money. Alright? Stay spooky.